Thanks for tuning back in. I'm Tommy Campbell, still bald, still in my basement, that has about as many people in it as Trump has supporters outside the Manhattan criminal courthouse. Marjorie Taylor Greene has been a very vocal critic of sending aid to Ukraine, and a recent post of hers resulted in some serious trolling by the Georgian Legion fighting in Ukraine, and this happened in the same week her Moscow Marge Russian action figure is all over the internet. I'll be having a laugh with Marjorie's post and the response, plus lumpy MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell reunites with Brannon House to discuss a gift from Jimmy Kimmel and Brannon's plans to send Kimmel one. Also, in the Trump hush money trial, the prosecution and defense continue to take it from Pecker, and Tucker Carlson returns to the Tommy Campbell Show for his hilarious take on the case and the courtroom that you're not going to want to miss. But first, this.
Been there almost every day.
Yep.
We invite everybody who's in town, stop by and join our group of Trump supporters and be a part of history.
Amen.
Don't just sit back and watch this like a voyeur.
Yeah.
Trump needs our help. And without our help, I don't want to think about it.
I don't think you think about much. This guy has two hats to keep his empty head warm. Join our group of Trump supporters. Group? There's been a tiny handful of supporters there at the most, as confirmed by photos and cell phone video. That's why he's making construction site pit stops. It is pouring MAGA Tears. I played in 35 countries for over 2 decades, but most days you'll find me here. Thanks for taking in this bald comedian's take on things. Please join the best subscribers on YouTube while I blast the latest and stupid and more. Mike Lindell and Brannon House briefly got back together, and the dumpster fire bromance goes as expected.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Brannon House
Lindell
Live.
Report. My guest
tonight is Mike Lindell.
Well, everybody, how it says, 2 shows in one. We actually have 3 shows in one tonight. We're getting the band back together. We got old Jimmy Kimmel, huh?
We're simulcasting.
They spent years talking over each other and then did this. Maybe it worked in rehearsal, but yes, they are simulcasting so they can be in multiple places with minimal viewers. That's how it works. The band was back together to discuss Jimmy Kimmel sending Mike a trash can.
But you know what? I got Jimmy a gift. I got Jimmy a gift. Yeah, we're about to send these to Jimmy. He was commenting on my handkerchief.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's right. So he was always commenting about your little pocket.
My pocket square, my B. So I got him.
Pocket square. You got Jimmy's for, there it is. Let me see that. Hold that up.
I have been mocking these things for years. I mean, the B is just there as a hint for Lindell to remember Brannon's name, and he still struggles. It's also fantastic to have handy to wipe away all his MAGA tears. Now, my suggestion for Brannon is to keep one. Send the rest to Jimmy. I mean, he's not going to use them, but send them. It'll make it feel good. But just keep one. Take one out of that container and tuck it there next to the B. That would be awesome.
There it is, everybody. Jimmy got me this garbage can. And
where are you going to put that now? Is that going to go in the home, or are you going to keep it for the office?
Well, you know, we'll have to see. It's got a lot of fancy stuff on it. I've never seen such a fancy garbage can. I'm serious. It's got little dials.
What did that? Do you know what it cost, Mike? What it cost?
He said he showed it on the TV. It was $139. Thank you, Jimmy.
Wow.
You know, your little tie things probably cost more than that you bought them, but we'll see. I want to get Jimmy. There it is. That's the present for Brannon House.
Yes, Jimmy sent Mike a garbage can as a gag gift because he came across Lindell's 2023 wedding registry. But to me, it's just funny to see a guy holding up a trash can since he threw his entire company in one. Also, little tie things. I love that Lindell had just called it a pocket square and that's already been wiped from his tiny mind and he's just working on the fly trying to figure it out. I mean, for a guy in the textile business, you'd think he could differentiate between pieces of cloth. But this is also the guy that does interviews without pants. And now to discuss the Trump hush money trial, please welcome back to the show, Tucker Carlson. Good evening, I'm Tucker Carlson, and tonight I want to talk to you about President Donald Trump and Pecker going head-to-head, creating a dangerous amount of friction that could lead to an explosion in a Manhattan criminal courthouse, because the mainstream media, the media of this country, the stuff that you find in your cable package, they're not telling you what's really happening.
So we have another day of court in a freezing courthouse. It's very cold in there, on purpose, I believe. They don't seem to be able to get the temperature up. It shouldn't be that complicated, but we have a freezing courthouse. And that's fine. That's just fine. Let them keep handing it out. There's a rigged trial. Thank you very much, everybody.
Huh. Donald Trump has spent several days in a freezing room, causing the logs in his turd tank to jam like an uninspected Splash Mountain knockoff at the county fair. The ride's not working. Guess we'll go see the free Ted Nugent show. Why is it cold, though? Is it that hard to adjust a dial? Because it's not. Many people are suggesting it is a tactic to control Trump's odor. Some are even equating it to the ice you find in some urinals. Now, I pee sitting down, so I cannot confirm that one. But Pecker is used to getting sun on his head, and Trump's often on the golf course at Mar-a-Lago, and they know this. That's why it's clearly a liberal strategy to put such a chill into these men. They want to ice Trump and shrink Pecker, so they shiver with the temperature and appear more and more nervous to the Soros-funded jury. Oh, let's turn off the heat so we can have Pecker shake on the stand until he flops over and weeps and the case is dismissed. They are trying every trick in the book, including deliberately scheduling this court session on the former First Lady's big day.
I want to start by wishing my wife, Melania, a very happy birthday. It'd be nice to be with her, but I'm at a courthouse for a rigged trial. It's a rigged trial. Terrible. But we're doing very well in this rigged trial. Everybody knows it. Yesterday was a big day, but I do have to begin by wishing Melania happy birthday.
How is that even legal? It's actually Melania's birthday, but instead of taking her out to dinner in Paris, followed by a walk on the beach and a hot air balloon ride over the city lights, he's stuck in court for the checkbook catch and kill journalism he was involved in, so the American people, the people of this country, didn't find out that he slept with Stormy Daniels or Playmate Karen McDougal. And if you haven't seen Mitch McConnell discuss their relationship, it is truly fascinating stuff, and I encourage you to watch that after this video. But this isn't about sleeping around while you were married and had a new baby. Oh, hello, little Baron. That isn't illegal. In fact, for conservatives, it's the standard. Our job is to say we are the party of family values while doing the complete opposite. And you don't have to take my word for it. You just have to look at the years of overwhelmingly bad actions from Republicans. What this is about are the payoffs that violated campaign finance laws, from shutting down favorable stories to creating others about his opponents, and today, Pecker slumped over and admitted under questioning that he did suppress stories to help a presidential candidate. But even though he admitted to this, it doesn't mean it happened, or that it was illegal, because the fringe right media gets to decide what is illegal, what is real, and what is democracy, because that is how real freedom works, right? I'm just asking questions. If you love what I do here and you can afford to help out, throw me a buck with the PayPal link in the pinned comment or drop me a super thanks with this button. And please take 2 seconds after this video to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. These things are free and help the show grow. Thank you. Marjorie Taylor Greene has been the harshest critic of aid to Ukraine, and this Neanderthal-headed Russian asset has failed to see the big picture and has posted heaps of out-of-context and highly edited clips about Zelensky, who did not say that American sons and daughters will have to fight in Ukraine or die for Ukraine. Rather, he predicted that if Ukraine loses the war against Russia because it does not have sufficient assistance, Russia will proceed to enter NATO member countries that the U.S. will have to send troops to defend. Under the treaty that governs NATO, an attack on one member is considered an attack on all. Remember 9/11? The world is helping Ukraine. It is the right thing to do. And as costly as this is, it is to prevent NATO countries sending their people. Marjorie and other conservatives tend to freak out about migrants and immigrants. Wait till you see the swell of refugees that Putin will create. In most countries who are under attack, bars and restaurants shut down. While Americans struggle and can barely pay their bills, small businesses shut down and prices soar. Ukraine is booming. Mike Johnson's neocon foreign war spending bill is yet another betrayal of America. $61 billion to Ukraine and their borders, and not a damn dime for our country and our borders. This prompted a reply from the Georgian Legion. Come to Ukraine. We will give you an excursion to the front lines. Yes, the Georgia Gremlin was invited to the front lines in Ukraine with the Georgian Legion. First off, Careful, fellas. You don't know which side of the front line she would be on. I wouldn't trust Moscow Marge near your position. The Georgian Legion have been fighting and training soldiers in Ukraine since 2014, since the annexation of Crimea, with one aim: the destruction of Vladimir Putin. The paramilitary group consists of members from many countries, and although Marjorie loves to post photos and videos of her with high-powered weapons, she isn't in situations where the targets shoot back. But aside from being stupidly critical of the aid, she is upset that people are having fun. Ukraine is slightly smaller than Texas, coming in at 233,031 square miles, while Texas sits at 268,597 square miles. When the borders for the post-Soviet Union countries were drawn in 1991, Ukraine became the second largest country in Europe. It is twice the size of Italy and 2.5 times the size of the United Kingdom. And since we're talking about the UK, in his book, The Local, A History of the English Pub, local historian Paul Jennings says pubs played an important role in wartime life. In contrast to the First World War, when drink and the pub were seen as harming the war effort and were subject to major restrictions. In the Second World War, the pub was viewed as important for maintaining morale. That's what these people are doing. And in every conflict, there are people trying to maintain morale, no matter which side you're on. I performed shows to troops overseas that just lost someone in their unit that day. It's okay to take a breather. We all need them. But one video of a nightclub doesn't mean a country that has lost over 31,000 soldiers is booming. I think she keeps going on about the Biden economy because nobody's buying her book, and she has to blame it on something other than the fact that her supporters wouldn't read it even if they could.
There's an animal loose on the streets of New York City. Breaking out of his cage at the crack of dawn this morning, Donald Trump headed straight into a construction site. Donald Trump amid a sea of hard hats this morning. It wasn't even 6:30. The former president shaking hands, signing hats, and talking to the people who built the city of New York. Loved a good construction site. For a real estate mogul like him, it's home.
A sea of hard hats? I see 4. Just look for the high-vis vests. And to be fair, they might just be like helmets to protect their smooth brains. They wear them all the time. But Trump didn't have a hat or a helmet on because they weren't actually on site. They were in front of one. And I'm sure Fox was thrilled to be the one covering this angle of Trump's comb-over that is getting mocked all around the web. He's there at 6:30 because he's on the way to court, where he has to be. He's not like up and at him helping at a soup kitchen. He's just getting some love from the window lickers before court. And if he didn't have court, he would not be here. Jesse says a construction site is his home. I have some friends that work in sheet metal and concrete, and I assure you that they would love to take Trump around an active site and ask him basic questions, just the most basic questions. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Trump calls himself a builder, but he hasn't laid a brick or a willing woman in his life. Alex here, still in the bunker with Marjorie again. Good dude. Now, I don't know if you've seen it, but the International Hacktivist Collective Anonymous posted a Marjorie Taylor Greene action figure. Full transparency, they're not that into her, and had previously tweeted, Russian asset Marjorie Taylor Greene will go down history as one of the dumbest politicians ever. History will not be kind to you, neither will we. The figure is actually a very flattering likeness. Like, this is peak Marjorie Taylor Greene, or as they call her, Moscow Marge. I like it. I mean, it's cute. She hates it, though. Like, what's the problem, MTG? Is the bottle of vodka not big enough? Looks like the ammo belt is removable, which is good. You want the option to accessorize. I'm just a little upset we didn't come up with this first. I mean, there is a serious marketing opportunity here. Like, this should include a date night paper bag, a fashionable pipe bomber hoodie, and maybe a chin-up bar and a Range Rover. Okay, I'm just noticing the pig ears. And that's not nice. That's not very kind. Like, what are you trying to say? Oh, or is this a reference to like her mortadella meat stump feet? Because there's only one thing the Russian toy company really nailed, and that is gluing feet coverings to her likeness. I'm happy for the good people of the world to experience the joy of playing with a Moscow Marge action figure to recreate her greatest moments. But I don't care if you're like a serious comic book collector guy or like a MAGA child getting a brainwashing birthday gift. Nobody needs to be subjected to any version of her dumpster diving parsnip toes, okay? Last time I checked, this doesn't include a chunder bucket. Would have been that difficult to put a Monopoly thimble in there in case of emergency because her body is very realistic. What if some curious person decides to use a hairdryer to pry off the boots and they unleash the unrefrigerated ground beef grenade in the living room? An entire family could be scarred for life from the sight of her Dorito-dusted Trump mushroom fried rice-looking appendages because what is the rule, MTG?
The socks stay on.
The socks stay on. LOL, everyone is so angry here because Biden is losing so bad to Trump. MAGA Tears. Wow. What an echo chamber. MAGA Tears. Going through the comments, and so many losers think this guy's funny, but he's just a joke. MAGA Tears. But keep one, and tuck it next to your B. Keep it there. Have a little BJ going there. President Donald Trump and Pecker going head-to-head, creating a dangerous amount of friction that could lead to an explosion. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I don't know why it cracks me up. Many people are suggesting it is a tactic to control Trump's smell. Some are even equating it to the ice you find in some urinals. Now, I pee sitting down, so I cannot confirm that one. I like it. I like it a lot. Maybe too much. I need some alone time. Our job is to say we are the party of family values while doing the complete opposite. Lauren Boebert. We'll go down in history as one of the dumbest politicians ever. Thanks for watching. Please stick around and check out another one of my videos. Say hello in the comments. Find my stand-up on Spotify, streamed by millions, and add me on Facebook and Instagram. It all helps. Be cool, be kind, take care.